No, no.
Nice. You know,
Oh, nice.
Instead
Audio's choppy on me. I'm getting closer to the humans. So I wanted to come in with service, so I literally lock you guys in rather than try and get out. So we'll see how close I can get here. Just keep me posted.
Well, what I was saying was I was trying to get coverage of what's happening in DC instead of having car talk. Guys talking about cars, and I like the show. Don't get me wrong. I just was like, there's kind of a big march going on right now, and we don't want to listen to that. And
right,
let's rerun a car talk because there you go.
Of course. I've got a nice view here as we come into the march. You can see all the umbrellas. Do you guys hear me? Okay, good. I'll just stay here until we get started. Yeah, I think it's going to be hard for me to have consistent audio. So I'll get us kicked off. I'll say you guys are correspondents, and then I'll just try and dive live what's going on. And as I can, or I'll kind of stay on the periphery, so hopefully I can pick up some good internet, and let me know if all of a sudden you start to hear me better, give me a thumbs up, and I'll introduce someone or do something relevant.
She sounds pretty good to me.
I can hear it all. I don't know what our podcast will do, but I can hear it.
Hello everyone on Twitter and YouTube. Thank you for joining us. We're just getting set up.
I can't hear this yet.
Oh. Great.
Oh. Hello.
Hello. Great.
Where'd the music come from? That was exciting for a second there.
Dance break. We need to all start dancing.
Love it.
So cheers, everybody. I don't know how else to start because I'm Jenn. I'm Jenn Nelson, and I am also known as.
We got some church bells.
Oh, very nice.
I think they even drowned out Jenn. Those church bells are loud.
Oh, there we go. No, I try to be all cognitive of like muting and being careful so everybody can hear everything. But I was saying hello. Hello, everybody there. Savannah, what's going on with you? Where are you right now?
Hello, Jen. Thank you for joining us today. And hello, everyone who's joining us from all aspects and avenues. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook Live. We appreciate having you here. I'm your girl, Savannah Peterson. I'm hoping you can hear me. I am at the start of the Women's March here in San Francisco, just near City Hall, the iconic City Hall. We've had many marches in the city in this area. And I'm here. It is pouring rain. My hair will be dry for about another 10 seconds. People are streaming in to be a part of the festivities. Tonight's walk is supposed to be a candlelit one, and we'll be able to see if we can get some folks on that. As you can tell, we've got some spirited individuals walking by me right now, and I really have to feel for what it's like to be in San Francisco, one of the last American cities to participate today, but certainly we hope one of the strongest. And thank you to Vinny, who's with us from Florida, and Rachel. I'm not sure where you are, but I'm so glad you're with us. We got Charlie with me here in San Francisco. We're going to do our best. Let's check it out.
Perfect. And we hope that your reception stays true and stays strong with us. We've also been welcomed by Mia Voss behind the scenes here, and both Rachel Moore and Mia Voss are in Denver. Mia actually paraded today, so I'm super excited to hear her thoughts for today. And Rachel's just a powerful, strong woman in Denver and supports from behind the scenes, just like me in Virginia, who supported those in DC today. Vinny, yeah, you went out, you did some things today. You did a little cycling, as we talked about earlier. Now you've got your wine and you're ready to talk a little bit more. Have you gone back through today and kind of looked at the recaps of the photos and the press that is coming in from the Women's March?
Yeah, I have. And it's, the event here in St. Pete was well attended. Tampa did as a dual area, and so St. Petersburg had the Women's March today, and Tampa had a children's version of their annual Gasparilla Pirate Festival today. So, and we've got the a Black Heritage Music Festival going on at the major park here. So there's a lot of activity in Tampa Bay this weekend, and like I said, the March in St. Petersburg was a large one. I have a number of friends that were there. I got to look through some of the photos. It was definitely well attended and an upbeat attitude and just a lot of positivity today. Yeah,
I totally agree. I've seen mixed reviews going in and out in the press, the latter half of the press and the early editions of the press. But I try to focus on the positive. I even recently I went through and I was checking out the after effects of the New York and the DC press and saw Katie Couric talking to Betty White, in fact. And I think this was probably, shot earlier, but Betty White was talking about the state of affairs right now. And I think her positivity and her message kind of spans across decades, which I respect so much, but also is reflective on how a lot of us should look at our political climate right now. She's like, the reason I've stayed alive so long, and we all want to put her in a bunker and keep her alive for as long as possible, because 2016 tried to take her, it was through positivity and really keeping an unquenchable positive message throughout her life. And she says that we all just need to come together, continue community. If you can't do something on a grand scale, do something on a small scale, put your heart into it, and really try to remain positive. So I'm so glad to see messages like that come out to counterbalance some of the making this very Trump-esque. It's a bigger picture today, much bigger picture. So yeah, and I think that I would like to talk a little bit more too about where we are throughout the world. I know you're in Tampa. We talked earlier today. We talked a little bit about DC, and we have two special guests here. Maybe we should talk about Colorado and what that was like there. So I would love to bring Mia Voss on first, and she could talk about the day a little bit, her march, and she's got some great photos out there too. And then we'll get Rachel on. So Mia, tell us about your day in Denver today.
Yeah, I'm glad this worked out perfectly because I was running around all day in Denver. It's our march started at about 9:00 this morning, and I got down there, and it was a little trepidatious about going, just more of after yesterday, and everybody was feeling so raw. But this morning I heard Gloria Steinem speaking in DC on Shutter, and I was like, yeah, I'm going. It just fired me up because I'm very, very involved here. And sometimes the big gatherings cannot feel as constructive, but oh my God, today was a rock star day for Denver, like off the chain.
Awesome. Yeah. I think that we could see it on TV in a lot of cases, and hopefully Savannah will be able to join us again, and she'll be able to show some of the highlights. So what did you take away from the march? Well, number one, let's put it out. What sent you out there, and what did you really take away from there except reinvigoration and excitement?
Yeah, I really did need, I think we all get very siloed. And so, yesterday, I think we all felt very collectively isolated by watching the events and just like, oh God, and then, to come together and see that it was not positive yesterday and there was some rioting. And then here in Denver, it was amazing. And the cool thing I loved is that it was not all women. It was probably about 60-40. And I wrote this in my blog, in my Facebook post. It was men, women, children, women holding babies, men pushing strollers, babies holding signs, dogs, police helping people. It was amazing. And then I'm friends with the newly appointed Speaker of the House for Denver, or for Colorado, the first Latina. So I got to see her speak. Another friend of mine who's a state representative. And now it's like the group action today, but then I plan on meeting with them one-on-one and with groups to say like, all right, let's stop messing around. What are we doing? So it was inspiring and aspirations to keep this going, not just today.
And that's amazing. Savannah and I talked earlier today just about that. Like what I felt from this, one of the biggest takeaways from doing all of this and the residual effects is that this is, it's not new. The concept of what we're doing today, the Women's March, is not new. It's been going on since before women got the right to vote. But it's a spark that can ignite a fire in the communities, and that has to happen. It has to continue. It can't be just today. And everybody that's getting out there and having all these good feelings right now needs to continue that and really ignite a fire to keep it burning.
It was cool. I got to see too. So when I got there, I was supposed to meet some friends, and of course it was a cluster, and I spent a little bit of time sort of concerned finding them, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to find them. I'm going to sit here and take this in. And because I wasn't in a group, I was in this observation kind of mode, and it was so cool to see. And then I went to a coffee shop, and some girls kind of scooched in with me on the couch, and I started speaking with them, and they were fairly young. Talking to them, and then I met up with some other friends, and they had some friends sitting there, and then we were watching CNN together. It was just really, it was very kumbaya, but I know it's going to go somewhere, at least with the kick-ass people I hang out with, and I know you guys are the same.
And if anybody doesn't know who Mia is, and she's, a last minute but very welcomed part of this show, she is Mia on the Go. She is super influential in my book because I want to live her life. I really do. She's out on fabulous balloon rides. She's driving all the latest cars. She's traveling all over the place. And she's also a fellow wine lover like me. And when I was talking to Savannah this morning, I was talking about how things like this Women's March, can even find its way into the smallest niches, the smallest industries. The bottles of wine I have behind me, they're all made by women winemakers. Nice. And it stretches that far. It's not just there's a bunch of women out there. They're potentially protesting what the current U.S. president has to say about women, but it goes further into there. It hits every little niche, and it's about women in business as well. We were talking about that with Savannah because she is an entrepreneur. So it's everywhere, and this is just one little spark to get the community burning.
Yeah, brought together, and it's neat to see what's important to people as you're walking around. Some of them, it's the LGBT. Others, it's childcare. They were, protest about the woman that's up for education, and you know what I mean. So you just saw what was important to other people, and it was kind of cool to make you aware of that too. So I was digging it.
Yeah, and it sounds like you had a great day. Did you get rained on today? Because I know so many. No? Good.
Bluebird day, darling. Bluebird day. It was good. It was chilly, but it was bright and sunny. So,
well,
were you there?
No, I wasn't able to go downtown, but I definitely was there in spirit from afar. Yes. And I was on the feed. I was watching the feed and doing everything I could to share it on my feed and get the word out.
Nice. I think what's nice about that too is that you can watch it. You can actually hear what's going on.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. I think what struck me, and me again, it's so amazing. I love hearing the firsthand perspective of someone who is down there. I get to live vicariously through that. But yeah, from my perspective of being behind a screen, knowing I wasn't going to get down there today, even though I really wanted to, it was from the couple days before. I was seeing posts yesterday of people who showed themselves prepping. They were with their friends or their husbands, and their husbands were helping, their kids were helping prepare their posters or their hats and what they were going to wear downtown.
By the way. Oh my gosh.
So looked awesome. I know, it was amazing. And just to have that there and see that they were going to do this. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to get this. I think this might be bigger than people are thinking. And then just as like, I think at least every third post was someone showing that they were there, that they were in wherever they were, in DC or Houston or Knoxville or Seattle. And they were all downtown showing themselves walking. And I think one of my favorite visuals today was 9 News shared the aerial shot. They swooped in with a helicopter, and you're coming around the side of Denver, and you can look down and see the Civic Center and Civic Center Park, and just it was wall to wall people. People were they took up 2 roads, and you were there. I mean, just the sheer numbers of people. It was people. There was no grass to be seen. It was people, and I loved seeing just people showing themselves down there with each other. I loved seeing the men in the feeds that were commenting saying, my wife's downtown today. I'm so proud. Our daughter's with her downtown today. We're so glad that we're doing this. And on that tangent, I did see so many people who'd see those videos and were asking, what's going on? They were like, particularly young women, saying, what is this about? What's happening? So I think it's so important, even right now, what we're talking about, to give awareness to this, that some people don't even know what today was about. They didn't realize this was happening and going on and why it was necessary. What was did you see a ton of young children down there, like some moms with kids and stuff like that?
I did. It really was this crosscut of, again, like families. I saw, a guy with his little baby, and they had the little sign. And so it was serious. But, they were treating these kids like, okay, this isn't it, this is going to affect you. The girls that were sitting at the coffee shop, one of them was a little bit older. She had her 14-year-old with her, which means in 4 years, she's going to be voting. Do you know what I mean? So you can see this thing is getting fired up much sooner. But I really was kind of encouraged that it seemed more like a family and a community event rather than a women's march, which I was talking to my boyfriend about it before I was going, and he has 2 young kids, so he had to go get them. And I said, I wish you could go. He goes, yeah, but it's a women's march. And I said, wow. I said, you know what? I can see why you think that. I said, but it actually is for everybody. And then he saw it and was like, oh man, like I really wish I could have gone to that too, because it would have been interesting for his kids as well.
Well, and to Jenn's, what she had touched on earlier, and yes, some people were turning this into a commentary on our newly inaugurated president yesterday. But let's be clear. Let's be clear. This is not new. This is not a new issue. This is something we have slowly gained traction, and getting the right to vote, being able to actually own businesses and own our own houses and raise kids by ourselves if we have to, and things like that. But we're nowhere close. I mean, we're still, I think I was looking up stats today. Women are still making maybe 81 cents to the dollar of when men,
if you're white, by the way.
That's right.
That's how it is. Who is it? Oh, Ashley. Ashley, what's the actress?
Ashley Judd.
Ashley. She gave the most amazing speech. Now I have to say, DC was a lot more fiery. If you go back and look at the coverage, we're watching Madonna on CNN, and she drops 2 F-bombs before they can pull her off. It was hilarious, you guys. They're all like, whoa, 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 whoa. But it was the way she was speaking was very powerful. Ashley Judd, if you have a chance to go watch that, I mean, goosebumps. She was very inspiring. Denver tended to be a little more about the issues, not as necessarily about Trump, although there was a lot of Trump. But you're right. This is what the best sign I saw, you guys, was, I can't believe I'm still protesting this.
Yes, I saw that picture too.
Hi, Candy from Tokyo, by the way. I love that. Yeah, did you see that picture? And I took one of her, and she's like, I can't believe, and I went, oh my God, you're right. I can't believe we're still protesting it, but yet we have to. you guys know too, they're out there in the audience. Like it is not just a female thing. If we're not all being treated the same, you know what I mean? But it doesn't flow this way.
Exactly. Well, and I'm a mom. I have an 8-year-old daughter, and I pulled her aside earlier. You know, we weren't able to go downtown, but I pulled her aside. I said, look, I want you to come see what's going on over here. And I showed her, I think it was CNN. And I just said, look, I want to show you that there are, I'm going to get all misty-eyed. There are women throughout the country doing this, and you don't ever have to feel like you're by yourself. So please don't ever feel that way, because look, you know, so sorry, I'm not trying to get all.
No, I love it.
Just to show her, but like, if you're ever told that, you know, you're not good enough because you're a girl, obviously you are. And there are people who are there to stand with you to say you are. So it meant a lot to me.
Oh man, I love that, honey. I know I felt very choked up on that too, but I love hearing moms talk about that as well. So yay.
I echo your sentiment. I don't have any children, but a lot of my friends that have gone out to DC, they're either bringing their children along or really talking to them, showing them, you know, through the power of live stream or through the media itself. They're sharing this with them, which is so important. That was one of the things that Vinny and I were talking about earlier with Savannah. Like, what is the impact, or, you know, where is the best way to take this now and make sure that it pays in dividends? And Vinny mentioned some great organizations, which I hope you'll come back on and mention again. But I said it starts at home. It starts at, you know, bringing both young women and young men to events like this, so that they see that there are other people like this, and that this is okay for you to take a stance and go forward with what you believe in, and don't let anything stand in your way if you believe in it with your heart. Right.
And again, this is not a new problem. This is not dependent upon a particular commander-in-chief either. Let's be honest. It's going to be important, very, very much important going forward, always, to instill this and remember this, not only ourselves as adults, as voting adults, but also the young people we're raising up, that we have to remind them that they do have a civic duty, that this kind of thing, a peaceful march just to show solidarity and numbers and influence and opinion and power, is very important for our elected officials to see. You cannot deny those numbers. I'm so excited to see what is going on in San Francisco too with the lights. I think that's going to be hugely moving as well. What we're going to see with a lit kind of everything's lit. It's all lit with these marches and stuff. But that's what we are supposed to do, that with our young people, to teach them that it doesn't really matter who is commander-in-chief. Obviously, it'll matter in some cases more than others, but we're always going to have to struggle against these issues, always. Hopefully not much longer, but there are going to be new issues. There are always going to be things that we'll be challenged by, and we have to do our civic duty, citizens, to step that up. So that was what, and from, again, someone who was kind of experienced this from behind the screen, from home, but just feeling it today, and so proud of all of you who did get out there and make it, the numbers matter.
Oh, they really did.
So moving today.
Yeah. So I want to take a minute and thank a couple people that are here on Facebook, and thank you all that are there on Twitter as well. Great job behind the scenes with Rob and Sam with Enlightened Audiovisual. So we really appreciate you being here, Carlos Phoenix, and I believe that's Chef Michael that's joining us as well. If you take a moment and share this out, we would really appreciate it, because we're having a discussion, and we really want to include men. We want to include anybody, no matter the race, the sex, the sexual persuasion, as I've been calling everything, or however they identify themselves. We have somebody actually very special coming in. Candy is here from Tokyo, and I am very excited to hear her perspective, both as a woman, but also from a global perspective about what today has meant to her. So Candy,
thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi everybody. I know some new faces here, and from Tokyo, Ohio. It's Miss Good Morning. Well, I was there. I was with them actually yesterday. It was yesterday, and it was yesterday night. And due to expats, which is a very small expats here, but they march We marched along with them. And I took a shot. These are all my shots with them. This is by Hibiya, Tokyo, which is very near the US Embassy already. They started out around 6 o'clock, but the persons gathered around 8 because of their flooding in from Yokohama and other places. But one I can say is one thing we have all in common: awareness of this everywhere, all around the world. We have to know all of this awareness, which is, going through, and we're not going to pass this. No, not even one. We have all equalities. All women's, all men has all equalities that we can share out. That's why I'm focused mainly on my pictures, not live streaming, but this one is it's a very huge impact. I saw a lot of people marching with their kids, with their old, I mean, not only expats, but Japanese also. I can see old folks, old men, women trying their best out in the cold weather, which is raining yesterday, but we are one. The main reason we are marching, because we are one. We have one motive. As a global citizen member and Van Jones Joint Army, I am a member of that organizations. I want to share the awareness of this. And I made an article about this in medium.com that you would have, yes, and all of my pictures is out there. And the 45th president, that's the name of the title, the 45th president. Yes, it's on medium.com already, and it's spread out. It's in Twitter, it's everywhere, because I want everybody to know what's going on. It's not only you, the US side, who is very, very connected with this. No, from the outside world, which is we in Japan, has a strong band in the United States, especially Hiroshima. The history speaks itself. Hiroshima, the Pearl Harbor, everything, which is very historical. This is one for me, it's very important. So I hope, we can only hope, that's the word, we can only hope for the best and not for the worst.
And
so cross fingers with that.
No, and I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your perspective. I am going to go check you out on Medium because I've recently joined Medium as well. I'm going to get to Michael's comment on Facebook. Just give me 1 second, and because some of our panelists have to be members of society and members of family. So I wanted to quickly say goodbye to Mia and say goodbye to Rachel. Thank you for coming on. If you would like any final, you want to say anything else in passing, Rachel, you're up first if you'd like to say anything.
Sure. Thank you. And seriously, this opportunity is so great to get people together from everywhere to talk about this. And it's something that reaches all of us. I've seen, let's be honest, we've seen people backlash about this in spite of it being a very peaceful demonstration, a peaceful showing up, if you will. Everybody's going to find, or rather some people are going to find a reason why this doesn't matter, or why aren't you focusing your energy somewhere else? Why are you spending your energy on this when it doesn't matter? You're sorry losers and stuff like that. It's like, well, no, I'm not a loser. I'm fighting for something that is, like we had mentioned, it's far bigger than any one person, far bigger than any one office, and let's be honest, far bigger than any country. This is an issue that every woman faces, wherever they are, to varying degrees, obviously based on their race and their income level, their location geographically. It all depends on their factors, and they're going to experience these challenges in different ways and in different extents. But we should fight for each other. And particularly, I will say one last thing, as a white woman, I need to fight harder. I need to fight for my marginalized sisters who are not white and therefore have been marginalized by other people and are not given as strong a voice as I might have. I will do all I can to to give them voice and fight for them and make sure I can speak for them and say, look, we need to accept everyone. We need to get all of our issues up here. It's not just about white women. It's not just about black women, but we need to recognize that all of us have varying challenges and we have to fight for each other. And that's what I want to do. So thank you so much for airing this out and bringing us together and really bringing a great wrap up to today, in my opinion. And let's do this next January 21st. All right?
Yes, totally. Let's do that. Thank you, Rachel, so much for joining us. We appreciate your comments, and I look forward to seeing you next week and talking just as passionately about it as we are today. Mia, thank you to you as well for coming out today and sharing your insights into the march today on Denver. Please, any final thoughts as you head out of here and go on with your life?
It's Saturday night.
Yeah, right.
You know what I love? I've been saying it for years, but now I think we've all been kickstarted and kicked in the butt into really doing action. As we always say, think globally, act locally, and it really means more now more than ever, because a lot of the things that we are protesting now up here, we could have been looking at way down here at the state, city council level. So that's where I'm headed with that, is more of the empowerment. I mean, being a traveler and a travel blogger, and not all the time, but it's really gotten me very hyper focused about what's local. So that's it, girlfriend.
Girl, go enjoy your Saturday night. Enjoy that wine, because some woman had a big hand in that, and you.
And make your mouth move. Yeah. This is awesome. This was such a good decompress after today. And Candy, hi, darling. Nice to see you. All right, guys. Bye. Thank you.
And I hope we have Savannah back on. I'm really hopeful that we do. We see her out here. But I want to take a minute as we're getting Savannah on here to thank Michael Thomas, who's out here. And he says, things I'm seeing by corporate sponsored and mass media is really getting to him by comparison to how he feels about the empowerment of women. And I echo your frustration. It's great opportunities like this where we get to talk as, everyday women and men that are supportive of the empowerment of women and believe in equality across not only men and women, but in the for gays and lesbians and races to come out and talk today. And this kind of, for me, gives a little bit of balance in the tabloids and in the mass media. So I appreciate, again, everybody out here. And Michael, I appreciate your comments. Savannah, can we hear you? Or are we just...
I've got a little, I don't know, you can hear me, maybe.
Maybe a little bit.
I'm imagining it's pretty choppy. I actually had to take my microphone off. It's so wet here. I was afraid shenanigans might happen. But let's see, maybe we can stay in. So I am currently on Market Street, which is the main street in San Francisco. It is packed. Obviously, there's no traffic going through the city right now, and there are thousands of people up here. The rain is not a deterrent in the slightest. It's not. Oh yeah. Hi. What's up? Hey everyone! Woo!
Well, if nothing else, she's singing in the rain or screaming in the rain.
You're live to the whole world right now, San Francisco. Let's give a holler if you believe in equal rights.
Wow, we're getting a lot of likes on Facebook. That's amazing, Savannah. Thank you.
I love it. All right, well, we can keep it up here. Let's stop looking at me who gives a shit about me. Let's go to the crowd. All right. So what brought you here with us today?
Today with them, I live in Walnut Creek, and I will say I didn't really want to comment first, but I'm glad to be part of this. I'm very anti-Trump and pro-woman. I'm pro-choice, as well as pro-woman in politics. I would love to see women running the country, and I would like to see a woman president, but we will get through this. Donald Trump is not going to dump us in the garbage because we're strong as a country. and we are great as a country. So I'm very happy to be here in San Francisco with my two sisters. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was great. I hope you guys can do that.
Well, it sounds like there's some very positive message and positive spirit out there, which you would think the rain would dampen it. And like Candy had said, they were out in Tokyo in the cold. It's not stopping people. It has not stopped people going out yesterday, today, and it's not stopping people as we're going forward. And that's so positive to hear.
I'm still contacting the organization. The organizer to bring out this, because I know that this is going on. And I said to them, why not do this for a 1 week time? I mean, everybody's doing this all around the world. If you cannot start it, I will start it. And I'm definitely sure what I'm doing. That's why. And if nobody will start it, I'll be the one. And I'm just calling out them and to pay attention. It will be in Japanese and it will be in English. I can translate. It's no problem for me. I've done this a long time ago. So I'm just waiting for the response. And if not, I'm going there outside tomorrow just to have this done and to be aware. All around the people, all over the world, representing Tokyo and the US. I'm going out there marching with those people who are with me. Stay positive. Take an action. Just not words. Take an action.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
We are one.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. It's, when Savannah was talking earlier, she was asking, she looks like she's having a very fun time right now, I have to say. She was talking about it not being just this one day, that how do we have this trickle down and reverberating community and keeping the message alive. And I'd love to hear that from you, Candy. Thank you.
I know. And my focus is going Hiroshima, because that is one big one. That's why. And I'm ready to go there and bring out all the people who is veterans and walk with me, and we'll start marching. And I'm just emailing them. And for me, it's huge. This is huge for me. And I want to bring the awareness outside to the world. You can see that.
I can. And I fully love your spirit and your tenacity. I think we are going to give the gentleman of the hour of the show, Mr. Vinny, Mr. Pirate Vinny, as I'm going ahead and calling him, because I like to continue with the humor, a little chance to talk, and maybe we'll be able to reach out to Savannah again.
No, great. Thanks for having me back on. It's been interesting to listen to Mia and Rachel talk about their experience today, and why I really believe this is important. There is an action that's going to come of this. It's a gathering in individual places, but it's also the sharing on social media, like what we're doing and what individuals are doing with their own social media feeds, so whether it's Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, all over. We've never had this kind of connectivity this instantaneously worldwide. And, Savannah, we found in Antarctica, they had a March for Women event, and it was small and they could only be outside for a short period of time because it's so cold and fragile there in the environment. But they were there and they tweeted the photo out, and it really gives you, when we look at it, the visual image is the most powerful form of communication we have other than face-to-face contact. And as this platform medium becomes more and more substantial, we are really able to, you build bonds. If a text message releases dopamine, then a video message does even more. And connecting directly with people and having this scalable way of communicating is just a huge opportunity. And I think it's really, I look at today as the large group of people gathering is kind of flexing a little bit of muscle to go, we're in it together, we're not alone. This is who, we're in it together is really what comes out of this. We get connected this way.
Yeah, and I briefly mentioned my way that I want to keep this message going, and that was through incorporating children and the next generation into this. And when you were talking to Savannah earlier, it was, connecting with other organizations. I would love it if you would talk a little bit more and share that again, because we have a new demographic and a new audience now. So what is your trickle out effect of
And
this?
then, it's funny, I see a lot of my friends with children. I did see some people creating posters today or yesterday. As I look through their feeds, I have 2 friends that are in DC, one of which her children couldn't be there, but she had a poster with their 3 photos on it. But I know, what the next step is Monday morning, the congressional offices open up and you can make phone calls every day. You can reach out to your representatives, your senators at the state level and congressional level, at your city level. There's groups like Planned Parenthood that, you can join or become a volunteer for and get involved with. It's really a matter of finding the local civic and community organizations in your area and just plugging in and showing up for a meeting, sending, sharing on Facebook and social media. Again, you'll have people that look at, that the revolutionary won't be televised or tweeted. It will, because every little contact does push on people a little bit more. So that one person that was only retweeting stuff may be a volunteer tomorrow. And I think it's just important to get engaged in any way you feel comfortable. And like I said, making those phone calls, though, and actually hitting the switchboards of your capital legislator, of your state and congressional districts is really important.
And
Yeah.
I think
Can
that's
you guys hear
the
me
due
at all?
diligence.
Just out of curiosity.
I'm sorry, Savannah, what did you say?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, excellent. I just want to point out, I don't know if you can see it over here. We actually have a casket with the American flag wrapped around it going down the street. It's quite the sight. If you can pull me in. That over there, I'm going to try and hold it up so you can see, is a full-blown casket with 6 pallbearers and the American flag and roses wrapped around it, surrounded by women in their pink caps. This is kind of the bulk of the parade here in San Francisco for those of you just joining us. And I just wanted to see what's still going on around the country. I know most of the press did it have wrapped up. But it's pretty cool. Everyone is so super positive. It is pouring rain today.
Your audio is getting a little muffled, Savannah. I don't know if you're covering it or something.
Here we go. Sorry. The energy here, I can't emphasize it enough. We had a lot of broadcasters across the country with us all day today. Wow, my hair is so hot. And
Close the door.
They kept talking about the energy, and I have to say I was getting a little FOMO, and I can confirm being out here right now. I was seeing little kids in the crowd. Everybody, woo! Anyone? No, you're not. Yeah! The energy is really vivacious. San Franciscans and Californians in general aren't hyper keen on the rain most of the time, and it doesn't seem to be any problem for everyone out here tonight. Market Street, the busiest street in San Francisco, absolutely packed with people chanting. There's just a lot of love. I'm sure we've seen from the other spots with the Princess Leia style posters. Let's see if I can flip around in time. Sorry, guys. Missed it. Anyway, there's some really great art. San Francisco definitely got creative. Not that that's surprising.
No, I've seen the Princess Leia one where it's got Princess Leia very iconically saying "Join the Resistance." I always love when people can mix intelligent comments into a little bit of humor, because that connects with people so much more.
Yes, absolutely. And there isn't a frown in the crowd. I think that's really important to note. And while yesterday there were a lot of feelings in a lot of directions, today is not about any of that. It's 100%, as I'm sure all of you have been talking about. It's about unity. It's about coming together. It's about equality, and it's about all of us standing up for every minority and everyone who deserves the same equal human rights. Woo!
Did you know, Savannah, we have Candy from Tokyo here?
That is so cool, Candy. Hello, thank you for joining us. Thanks for coming to our broadcast.
It's an honor for me. If I can share something, I will. That's my job. It's sharing awareness.
We are definitely sharing a lot by being here. So we've had Tokyo,
Oh yeah.
Milan.
Oh yeah.
I
Wait
forgot
until-
we had folks in Holland as well earlier today. I didn't even know that we're in the broadcast. We're in New Zealand. Oh my goodness, I am a traffic jam. I should probably keep the road here for a second. There's also a lot of signs in a lot of different languages. That was something that a lot of people were talking about as we began the march. There was a group of women with signs in Russian in front of us, which I thought was really nice. Talk about a great country we could all use better relations with. So nothing but good vibes. And actually, I have to say, while it is female dominated, we're pretty gender balanced here in San Francisco. Granted, it's probably the home of the most feminist men anywhere. But I will say the crowd is definitely representative of both genders, which is great.
Now, Savannah, you've been here throughout the day and you've been covering it. You've seen the feed from other people, and you're there now. It's kind of hard for us to hear. It doesn't seem like it's like very loud as we heard in DC and New York, but I'm sure the energy is high. Is it a little bit more somber as we're going into the evening and knowing that this is a candle lit type of event?
That's a really great question. I think it's really more just about the timing of our broadcast. I think earlier we were able to catch some of the festivities that were happening as the rallies were going on, and here in this particular broadcast, we're showing the march itself in motion. So I think we could hear everything happening at City Hall here in San Francisco, the Civic Center, and it was quite ruckus during the part of the broadcast where unfortunately I was unable to connect to you guys. But I can tell you that there's actually a whole band over here. Actually, let me see if I can show you what's going on over here. It's fun.
I'm always excited to say, wait a second, let's go see what's going on over here. That's always a good lead up to something.
Oh yeah, and we've got a very interesting character.
I think I can hear some drums going on in the background. Oh.
Yes, there's actually a full-blown dance and drum circle going on.
There we go. I can hear a little bit better now.
All so very SF. So I would say that it's probably just my audio that's not conveying how good the vibe and the energy is here. Probably muffling us a bit, but it's definitely a really good vibe. I mean, seeing men wearing backpacks like that makes me happy.
Yay.
Yeah.
And we welcome anybody who's on Twitter. This is not a difficult thing to come on and join us and share your opinion. Twitter or on Facebook. The great production staff with Enlightened Audiovisual has put up a link at the bottom. And if you'd like to join, link at the bottom, link at the bottom, and a link over here as well, or there. That way, it's right there. It's right there. Did everybody get that? It's like it's right there. Either way, it's to the right of me or the left of me for whoever's watching. You're welcome. Join us on air and share your thoughts, no matter where you are in the world, because this is impacting everybody in the world, as we've heard from Candy again in Tokyo, and we heard from Milan earlier today. We've heard from the East Coast, the West Coast, and I think you said Holland too, Savannah? Possibly.
Yeah, she mentioned Holland.
She did? Oh, very exciting.
She did.
Oh, that's exciting. So anything else that we talked about a little bit earlier, Vinny, that you would like to share, or maybe there's something else that you'd like to highlight as we are wrapping up today, at least from the U.S. perspective? Any other thoughts?
Yeah, you know, when I look at this, again, it's all about connection. And I think it's, you know, yesterday we talk about making America great, and we can't do that unless we help make the world great. And you know, we've all got friends and family now that live all over the world. We connect instantly. It's like, if my friends are not safe in Europe, it doesn't matter if we're safe here or in Kansas. It's all interconnected, and that's really, I think, what's coming together today is this solidarity in spirit that America is an idea. And liberty is an idea. It's not something that can be protected by borders, and it's something that everybody has to share in, whether it's us as white males and white women helping to open up where we can, which is a challenge to get people to do. And I think, like I said, for 2017, part of my thing is to try to open myself up more to do that personally and be involved in things like this, where it's something that I could easily take a back seat and not be involved with. But I do want to get engaged. So I just see it as a real, I woke up this morning and saw Savannah and got involved early in the day, and it's been just an amazing, energizing experience all day to share this with you guys and with everybody that's watching.
I can completely agree. I've loved seeing all the. Since I'm not only a wine lover, a wine personality, and I also am a live streamer. I loved the way live stream, like Chef Michael was talking about, like he's very tired of the mass media. He's tired about the tabloids of what image they're putting out, what spin they're putting on this, that because of live streaming, that there's everyday people out sharing coverage, sharing their stories, sharing their perspective and their thoughts, that now if you're an avid consumer of information like I am via live video, you can really get a better perspective, a both sides perspective. And I love big events like this that allow so many different people to come together and as we're talking, connected and united, and really give their perspectives. And that's a lot of why Savannah put this on today, and why Vinny and I have come back throughout the day to share and to keep this perspective going and highlight everybody in the community that's out there supporting, because some of us can't always make it out there, but we want to do our part here back in home base. So Savannah, how's it going? I hope we can hear you again. We see some great footage for sure. Maybe.
Yes,
There we go.
Hopefully you can hear me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going great. I actually really like the sign that's behind me. I hope you can see it. It says, "Please do not stand by." And it's very fitting for all of us live streamers and broadcasters. And I think it really sums up in a super cheeky and awesome way everything that we've been talking about today, which is it's about action, it's about unity, it's about coming together and not just watching. And that's what everyone on this broadcast did today. I think perhaps besides myself and Rob and some of our earlier guests, I don't think anyone expected to be here today. And I think it's so cool that we all came together and we're able to do this, and that there's still thousands of people parading here in San Francisco, and I'm sure we have it happening in Hawaii and elsewhere still yet to come today, where we don't even know. So just the best energy in the city.
Yeah. I don't know if you could cue it up, Rob, but I had a couple signs that my friend Catherine Todd, who is a fellow wine lover of mine, wine writer, she was out in New York City today. Protests. Yep, I see them. They're up here now. So some great signs there, and some great perspective with the building and seeing downtown New York City and seeing our children are watching. That sign is so powerful. We understand it and we see it now. I can barely see that one, but give me a second on Facebook. I'll be able to see it a little bit better, but it's talking about justice. There's so many great New Yorkers for immigrant justice. So there's, the compounding layers, like it's about the children, it's about other issues, and everybody's using this as an opportunity, not just necessarily women, but, people in the LBG. I'm so butchering that, but for, and for gay rights and lesbian rights, they're coming out and they're sharing and joining together and really saying, if our struggle is helping somebody else, let our struggle help you, and let's band together as minorities or misunderstood people to come together and get under this one banner. Vinny, what are you thinking? What are you thinking about maybe even the signs? The signs are very powerful, because you were mentioning imagery is so powerful now in this day and age.
Yeah, I had the funniest one I thought was a friend that said, "Make America think again."
I did see that one. Totally did.
And I thought that was good. And I love this again. It's just the density of today. And as Savannah said, I didn't expect to be on this today. And I think what this is doing, I think it was Mia again, somebody didn't know that there was a march going on today. We assume that people know what we know. And I think what we learned by polling in the election, that's just not true. There's a lot of people that are just doing their thing today and didn't know what was going on. But because of the density of people meeting today, they're going to brush up against this more likely than if it wasn't going on. And again, the more things like this that can happen and the more times we can get together and broadcast like this and share events and be an alternate to the media to shape, you can just do this from your home.
Yes.
I think that's powerful. And this is a great example of how that happens.
Yeah, and I can echo that sentiment because I contacted Rachel Moore and I contacted Mia Voss between our breaks. And I just asked them, hey, you ladies are powerful, you're strong, you're business-minded, you have a stake in the game, either personally being out there or having a daughter that you want to put this message on and make sure that it spins down to the next generation. Would you like to come on? And within just a couple hours, we're now sharing our different perspectives. And of course, Candy, who's joining us all the way from Tokyo, which is just amazing to me. I never would have thought this 10 years ago. Like this never would have been possible in my mind. But now so many great people get to come together, so many different walks of life and so many geographic locations and talk about this real ground perspective. I want to also reiterate, just thinking globally and thinking about the marches that are happening all over the place. I did spend some time in Iraq. I'm a veteran and I did go over Iraq. I saw women marching in Erbil, which is in the northern part of Iraq.
Thank you for that.
Oh yeah. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But like that, I've been there. And I know what the culture is. And even though Erbil is it has, a Christian sect, it has Arabic sect, it has diversity there. But to know that this is going to a place that was devastated in a global perspective, I was so happy to see that.
Who was watching from there?
I just saw pictures. I think it was Time kind of released just like a glimpse, a snapshot of all the different places that it was. There was protests happening. Now they weren't as flashy or as what we have. The turnout wasn't as big as what we had. But I mean, just think about what that says. In northern Iraq now, women are getting out with signs and marching with that solidarity.
It's funny that you say that. I was communicating with my brother this afternoon because my brother lives in Erbil now. He just started a new job there as a school teacher at the American University.
Awesome.
So what you did as a veteran there, in one set, my brother is following up. Like now, he's helping to provide education there. And again, he did a couple Facebook Live broadcasts from walking around in Erbil, just kind of exploring. And so, again, my heart's there with you on that. And thank you for what you did, because it's now made it where my brother can be there as a teacher. He's unarmed. He's not in the military. He's a civilian, and he's sharing education and sharing culture. And that's really the long-term stability of the region and the planet are going to come from culture being shared.
Yes. And there's a lot of good influence that's happening in northern Iraq. I really loved being in Erbil, and I am kind of a little jealous of your brother. It's such an interesting, dynamic place, and with things like seeing the signs and knowing that women are getting out, and that there is a change of perspective. I'm not saying that there wasn't women that stood out, beforehand, or they weren't out there marching, but that they're being heard outside of the borders. Like that is such a big change.
Yes.
And I love that if I did something earlier on, that you are now continuing and your family is continuing to make a positive impact there.
It's exciting. I'm so glad that we got to meet today for this. like this is why this happened, is that connection. This connection would not have happened.
No, absolutely not. You're so right. How are you doing out there, Savannah? I feel like we're taking over your show. Having a splendid time.
It's great. I don't mind at all. As you can tell, I'm right now in the epicenter of the word that is chanting "My body, my choice," which is one of the many reasons we're all out here. As you can see around me, we've got "I stand with Planned Parenthood" signs up above.
I love the energy because, you know, sitting back here in Virginia, that most of the marches are done. Like, I'm now reinvigorated by here.
Women's rights are under attack. What do we do? Yeah, I'm glad you're going to get a chance to see this. I am right by a megaphone.
Now everybody can feel a part of it because that megaphone is now in everybody's ears.
At least you're getting a real representation of what went down in San Francisco better than me just sitting in my apartment earlier this morning for our morning podcast. I don't think I even need to narrate this. I think it kind of goes without saying. Love it.
And love all the colors too. Like everybody's coming out and everybody's.
I don't even know they're live to the whole world and talking to Japan right now. That's what's so cool about this broadcast is we even got the like natural steam effect of the city happening. Couldn't have really scripted this if we tried. I really like the sign that's in front of me. I want to show you guys if you can see it. It says "Stay woke," which I think is also really important. Awesome. Everyone is alive today. Everyone is together today. And as we've been talking about, you know, it's all about what this action means for the future. And I think that seeing these signs, "Don't stand by, stay woke, stay active," that's what we're all really going for. And so it's just been so amazing to see so many incredible men and women. I'm really humbled, to be honest with you, to see that all of you joined in from across the country. This was just an idea I had. Rob was nice enough to want to produce it. And we managed to literally connect the entire globe in a series of free broadcasts across the day, showing everyone demonstrating the day of all genders. So, like, so much big love to all of you, to everyone, to Rob at Enlightened Audiovisual. Vincenzo and Ashley, Jenn, everyone needs to tune into your show and learn more about wine, whatever's going on in Japan, and however you enable everyone candy. I can't wait to hear more about it. Charlie, my boyfriend, has put up with this all day long. Thank you, Charlie. And stand up, fight back. I don't know if you can hear behind me, but pretty good closing message.
I think so, and I think that this is a good place to kind of say goodbye. And thank you, Savannah, for bringing us on and bringing us together. Thank you for having the foresight and the energy and the motivation to be here and want to share this type of message in a very raw and natural way. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. You guys, I'm just, like I said, tickled. You're a gem. I suspect we'll all be continuing to stay woke, continuing to fight back, continuing to unify all sides, all ethnicities, and all races over the next, not just 4 years, but hopefully indefinitely. So thank you for finding us today. Thank you for encouraging everyone to join. Thank you for rallying the women around the world. Mia, Candy, Rachel, you're all wonderful. Vinny, you brought the Florida we never knew we could have today. Wouldn't have been the same show without you. I hope that everyone reads your book and knows what a cool economist you are after today. And if you are thinking about producing live video from events just like the Women's March here in San Francisco and around the globe, like I am, Rob Hix is your man, everyone. Again, Enlightened Audiovisual. Without him, none of this is possible. Most of us are on our computers or our iPhones, and look at how professional this looks. I'm so grateful for it all, and really grateful for everyone. You participated today, even if all you did was tune in. That counts. You showed up. You're taking action. Even more action if you decide to share this video after listening to this broadcast, or engage in the comments, or tag someone who you know was there today, who turned up, who showed up. We made a difference, and we made a statement. So thank you all.
I don't even know. I don't know how to follow up from that.
Just the beginning.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think that
Just the beginning.
Right. And I always like to give people final thoughts for my show, and since I'm kind of in the manager's chair right now, I want to give Vinny and Candy any last moment to say thank you, to talk about who they are, what their perspective is on this, or anything going forward they would like to share. So, Candy, please, any final thoughts?
Yes, my final thought is this is only just the beginning. It is only the beginning of everything and awareness. This is not just for one day or 2 days. No, it's not for a week, not either for a week. This will be long enough until we are alive. This is just the start of everything. As a global member and a global family, and we are connected right now in every platform that we are, this is just the first part. Remember this. The only say that I can say is we are together with this. We are one. We have to put in action, not words, but in action. And then remember, this is one part of the family. We are a family of this.
Very nice, very nice. You got a bunch of hearts all across the board here. And Vinny, same to you. Any final thoughts?
Just so glad I could be part of this today. So glad you and I got to connect. We have something in common. My brother's in Dohook, not Erbil, that's the university there. If anybody wants to find me on the socials, it's Vinny Tafuro, Vinny with a Y. Savannah said I wrote a book, Unlocking the Labor Cage. And so this is a thing close to my heart. At laborcage.com, you can see kind of the theories that I put out there. We're really at a huge shift from the industrial age to the knowledge age. And connecting people is going to be the value and currency that we trade by in the future. And so to come together and to be part of this at what is the beginning of it is just so heartening and so wonderful to be part of. And Candy, such a pleasure to meet you. And Rob, thanks for the work this evening. Glad to be here.
I am so grateful. Savannah kind of shepherded this conversation a couple of days ago, and it, like, to your point, I mean, it's just so cool to see how spontaneous we were able to do this. Before today, well, I've known Candy and Jenn for quite a while, but throughout the day-to-day, I got to know you very well, and it was just so cool to see how spontaneous we were able to do things. And for sure, I think being able to do these live stream productions is it makes it look good, but it doesn't need to look over fabricated, right? I mean, a double box so you and I can see each other and talk to each other, and some credentials, but it doesn't need to be this freaking Hollywood masterpiece, because we're not trying to connect on a superficial level. We're just trying to have a large conversation. And it was, to me, it was just so cool, because like I said, it was only like maybe a half hour before we went live tonight that I was thinking about Candy, and I just shot her an instant message saying, "Hey, Candy, would you mind camming up?" And I'm going to bring her on real quick just so I can say hi to her. She says, "Sure, why not?" And oh, by the way, I wrote a Medium article and I took these pictures. And if I hadn't asked her to come on, you guys wouldn't have seen her pictures. We wouldn't have known about her Medium article. And, so, and that was exactly what you were talking about, Vinny, is just, it's awareness. And the way you bring awareness is just by putting it out there and reaching into your networks and saying, "Hey, Candy, are you interested? Hey, Vinny, we're doing a show today. Are you interested?" And yeah, so it was. I'm pretty proud of all of us, and all of us meaning for sure the viewers. I mean, Michael has been a rock star today, and I saw Phil is in here as well. But we're really proving that as a large community, we just don't need the mainstream media anymore. I mean, we can do this stuff by ourselves, and we can be authentic. We can tell truth. And we can call things out, and I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah.
The great producer of Info in Life. That is bravo.
Well, it's a team effort for sure. Yeah, and you guys have to check out Candy's artwork. I'm going to make sure to in the description. You want to talk about just a crazy, insane photographer? Like her stuff is phenomenal. So I will make sure to put Candy's creds into Savannah's video description, so you guys can follow Candy's work. I mean, my mind is blown every single day because you just, yeah.
Oh, this summer I'm going to Hiroshima I'm covering up the Hiroshima bombings, which is, I think, the 46th or the 47th. I will make time to go there and to bring it live because a lot of people, live streamers do it in a nice way. In a Japanese perspective side, I want the respect of that. And I hope the president right now will show up and say something about that one. So that one for me is a huge project already. Remember?
That'll be exciting.
It's June. It's June that the celebration it's going on. So that will be put in my calendar already. So better watch that out. I'm going Hiroshima and all the veterans, everything, and I hope the president will say something. Let's find out. That's
right. Well, but you know what? Whether he does or he doesn't, I mean, given that many months, I mean, if we can continue to grow audience and community, why does he need to be involved? I mean, it's about us, not the politicians, right? So what does it matter?
Exactly. Well, there's a lot. We'll see you in Tokyo in a few months, every day. Again, I will see you again and again.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
Oh, whose audio is that? Savannah's audio that's blowing up.
So guys, bye.
Bye, Kiana. I'm gonna bring Savannah on real quick.
Oh, thank you so much. Vinny, thank you so much, and Savannah, thank you for allowing me to be here and sharing.
You're amazing. I'm so glad you were invited. This is awesome. I can't wait to see your art. I can't wait to be a part of your art somehow. We'll make more art together.
I'm going to march with you. I'm going to start the march tomorrow, Savannah.
Look what you started, Savannah. That's awesome.
I love it. That was the whole point. It is about us. It is about all coming together. And I have to say, I found myself, and it could be perhaps because we've been doing this since 5:30 a.m. my time today. But when I got down to the march, this being our third show and my first proper physical march today, I was actually a little choked up when I thought about the fact that there are hundreds of thousands of people doing exactly what I'm doing right now with all these people in downtown.
Yeah, we can hear them.
You know I'm live right now. Yes, conveniently, and we all marched. And we all went live, and I think that, and we brought people together. I saw people I haven't talked to in years, and so you all had this experience tuning into our broadcast today. And I think we led by example. All of us who turned up and had something to say. We kept the whole dialogue so positive, all about unity, equality, love, and really just telling the story. And to Rob's point, we don't need anyone else. If we have each other, we have our voices. I mean, we'll see if I have my iPhone after the level of wetness in this particular broadcast. But it was a risk worth taking at the stick test anyway.
Right.
This is all good.
iPhone down.
But really, thank you to everyone who tuned in. We decided to do the encore show because we knew we were going to have Jenn and Vinny along with us to support the walk, and that I would obviously be a little bit in and out in where I am. But truly, if it wasn't for the excitement that we saw, we wouldn't have necessarily brought this back. And I think perhaps this might have to become a little bit more of a thing. And all of us here today can say and put on our bylines, we did the first international live stream of the Women's March ever in the history of the world. We started our broadcast long before anybody else did today. And I dare say we are going longer. CNN's Facebook feed went down and ours didn't. So that says something, ladies and gentlemen. You did good. I'm proud.
Nice.
We've got a lot of people who are very proud and empowered here in the Golden State of California. Thank you all for tuning in. I feel like I should give us a send-off unless anybody else has anything to say.
Well, I'm going to bring Jen. I want to bring Jen back in, and I also want to say thanks to Vin. But I'm going to mute your mic, and then Jen and I'll do the sign off.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you all from all of us here in San Francisco. One last week of holidays. We are fired up. We are ready to go. And we are grateful that you joined us today. Thank you very much for tuning into my channel. I'm Savannah Peterson, Savvy everywhere on the interwebs. Mwah. Cheers.
Wow. I can't compete with that.
Neither can I.
Yeah.
That's just the energy there. I was in San Francisco in October and was visiting Sav out there. It's a great city, and just I'm sure she's gonna have a blast of an evening.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Erin. She shared this out for Jen and for Kat McCauley. Says we marched in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. We support you. So thank you, Kat. And yeah, let's see. Candy's in the chat. Thank you, Candy. So man, it was a lot of fun today. A lot of fun today. What are your thoughts, Jen?
Well, okay, so this whole day kind of caught me off guard, but opportunity.
Surprise.
Yeah, I know. Well, but I'm not complaining because this is an opportunity, and this is something that if I'm not always fired up about, it impacts me on a daily basis. I have experience. I can be raw about it. We can connect on a human level. We can expand what this message is and build community through doing it. So these are all very positive things, and I'm always about taking an opportunity to meet new people and to help friends out, especially in this wonderful and growing live stream community that we're all a part of. I don't know your work, Vinny. I know now you're an author, but I don't know how much you're doing in live streaming. But if you're not doing much, you're now part of the live stream community. So welcome.
I've been following Amy with her vlog Like a Boss Month with Vincenzo, and I started my own web series through my Facebook group for it's called Industrial Age Detox, and I'm going to do it twice a month. I have this
Nice.
Monday coming up, so
I see that Clarissa just hopped into the Facebook chat. Hi, Clarissa. I haven't seen you in a long time. Well, I'm not seeing you now, but I guess you're seeing me. So.
And I love that. I appreciate you going through and sharing the comments, Rob, and always being behind the scenes and reminding us that there are great people like Michael Thomas, and I saw Carlos Phoenix on here and Aaron Sell, which you had mentioned. I'm also very appreciative of my community under Wine Antics that I've gone through today, and I've asked people's opinions because it affects everybody. What's going on today is affecting everybody, either on a small scale or on a large scale, depending on how involved you are. And I hope it continues to affect people in a positive way. And if nothing else, a vent channel to get how you feel out there. If you've gone out there and marched, and even if you don't feel like you can do anything right now, but getting out there and supporting and meeting new people gives you an opportunity to get that out there as well.
That's right. So we'll wrap it up. Jen, you are a rock star for being so spontaneous, and yeah, you're just awesome. And yeah, I'm really proud of you and everything that you do. And thank you.
You're welcome, Rob.
Yeah.
You'll get a bill later.
That's right. And Vinny, I got a new friend today, so that was really good. So. If you guys don't have anything else to say, let's say goodbye to the audience, and we'll call it a live stream day.
have a good day.
All right. Thank you everyone very, very much for hopping in, and we'll see you on the next stream.